The overall objective of the extension to the McKinley Railway is to enable us to run trains from 1953 to 1976, and at each stage the rolling stock we are using would be appropriate for that particular year. And essentially what we required was a system that would know where the trains were at any point of time on the layout, including those which were in the storage system. It would know which year we were trying to operate. It would therefore know what rolling stock would be available for that year and which rolling stock we needed to take off the system and which rolling stock we needed to bring onto the system. So we developed a specification of a software system that had the required functionality. Essentially, we were talking about station managers who would operate each of the stations, London, Manchester, Birmingham, etc. We have a storage yard manager who is responsible for moving trains in and out of the storage area. And then we have an era manager whose job would be to bring trains out of the big storage area onto the operating layout and to take trains from the operating layout into the storage area as they become time expired. The system also has to feed information to the operator of train controller so that he can prepare the trains for the computer system that actually runs the layout on a day-to-day basis. We developed the requirements specification about 18 months, 2 years ago, and that was discussed with a software developer who then undertook the task to create the software for us, and we're currently in the process of testing that, seeing what refinements are needed and what additional functionality we might want. And the system's based on using iPads, and when you log in as a user, the first thing it does is ask you what role are you performing. And the key roles that I described earlier are all here: the era manager, the stage and yard manager, station manager, and a timetable manager, and the train controller. So if we, for example, select the station manager, it then asks me what station that I'm managing, and if I say it's Manchester, then I get a screen enable me to operate the Manchester station. The software is designed so that only one person can call up that screen, so nobody else now could get a Manchester screen in front of them. And what I have is a display at the top that shows the time of day and the month that we're currently operating. And then on the left, the arrivals that I should expect at Manchester in the next time period, and likewise the departures that Manchester has to prepare in order to meet the requirements of the timetable. And for the arrivals, this right-hand box will show the manager the state of those trains. So what the first one here is actually completed. In other words, it's arrived in Manchester and it's actually sitting on platform 1 as shown below. For the second train, the stock's still being prepared at the London end of the layout. So he can see quite clearly what's going on and what to expect. Likewise, on the right-hand side, these are the main tasks that he's going to have to undertake. First of all, the trains that need to leave Manchester over the next time period, And then for each of those trains, he'll be asked to assign a platform and to then prepare the stock. And it shows down here, for example, on platform 4, a Manchester to London train at 8 o'clock, and the state of that train at the present moment. And so this is the way the system will operate. There are other screens for each of the manager's functions, and they have a similar kind of layout. Once a train has been prepared and is ready to be sent on its way, a message is sent to the train controller, who will have the data enable him to set up train controller with the rolling stock. And once that's done, he comes back to the station manager and says the train's ready to depart. When the station manager is ready to release the train, he sets the platform over to the train controller software, and in due course that will see the train depart. So that's where we've got to with the software at the present time, and by the time we get to our next progress report, it will be hopefully fully working.